What's going on, everybody? All right, happy Saturday to everybody. Today is January 4th, 2025. If you're new and it's the first time you're checking out my channel, hit that subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free. Make sure to hit that subscribe so you can keep up to date with all these updates and everything that I post. And if you're enjoying the content, you already know what's up. What's going on, Bradley? I appreciate you tuning in, watching, and all that good stuff. As we wait, as usual, for the notifications to go out, we will be talking about a few things. Hey, what's going on, Ace? I appreciate you for watching. Also, as we keep on waiting for a few more people to come in, we're gonna talk about a few updates with DC and what's going on. You know, there's something that just came out, and I feel that we have to talk about it. So I see that the numbers are starting to go up. Appreciate everybody for watching and stuff. Yeah, we will be talking about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and stuff like that. So I have that in what we're gonna talk about right now. All right. So without any other thing, let's just get into it and let's talk about this. All right. So look, first things first, we are going to look at the following. All right. It's been 20 years since we got Batman Begins with Christopher Nolan's. Wow, amazing. Amazing. When WB was at the peak, at the top of the mountain with quality, and all these films were making them money, and it's crazy how time flies by, and 20 years have already passed, and here we are, looking back. It's like, whoa, where did time really go? And it was awesome what Christopher Nolan gave us with the Nolan verse. That took everything to a whole new level, and it was just amazing times, honestly. So we're about to talk about some more stuff and stuff. So this is just one thing I wanted to talk about it. 20 years ago, just wow. Like it's incredible. Like again, what Christopher Nolan gave us, it was just amazing and ahead of its time. All right, so let's talk about let's talk about the next thing. So how about them stocks? How about those stocks? You already know that lately I've been talking about this. This is from January 2nd. All right. This is literally from a few days ago. Today is the 4th. This is 2 days ago. Now let's look at this. Okay. So for all the James Gunn fans that are saying, yeah, we're eating good. Yeah, things are going good. Things are going great. Oh, we're winning and blah, blah, blah. Right. You have been at $10.60 or probably less for over a year and a half. All right. And with this whole reboot and everything, you would expect that these numbers would be soaring on top of the mountain, right? They would be in the high hundreds, right? Surpassing it. All right. This is from the second. All right. Yesterday, Friday, because today is Saturday, Wall Street is closed Saturday and Sunday because of the weekend, you know, let's look at the numbers, how Wall Street at WB closed yesterday. So 2 days ago, 1060. Yesterday, it closed. Oh, would you look at that? It closed at 1057. Instead of going up, it went down, right? Again, you can't lie. Don't come at me and tell me that this new DCU is the best thing that has happened to WB. The facts are right here in your face. And the James Gunn fans cannot tolerate that. They can't handle the truth. The truth is that it's tanking, it's flopping, and it's not going anywhere. This is why I keep on telling everybody, wallets closed. We are winning. Investors are nervous. They're seeing these numbers that do not go up, not even with their announcement of Creature Commando Season 2, Peacemaker Season 2, and whatever James Gunn is trying to plan, and we're gonna get into this whole Supergirl, flop of tomorrow. Let's just call it how it is. But look at the numbers; they don't lie. Again, accept the facts. The big L is coming your way, James Gunn fans. If you were winning, you wouldn't be in the red, and you continue to be in the red, and you continue to sink in the red. So where's the profit? All right. It's funny how some, James Gunn supporters come onto my channel, which is a Zack Snyder community. All right. I do not support, and I am not, in favor of James Gunn. I've said that multiple times. All right. Don't come here and try to vent and say what you feel to offend me or the community, because you already know I'm going to delete and block you, right? The fact is that with James Gunn, it's not working. Here you go again. This is from yesterday. This is up to date. Go ahead. You don't believe me? Go check it out right now. and you will see that that's where the numbers are at right now. All right. Moving forward, right? Check this out. This is an image that I came across. As we can see, with Zack Snyder on Zack Snyder's Justice League versus what we got with Andy Muschietti. Wow, it's under the leadership of James Gunn at DC Studios with the Flush. Look at the big difference. With Zack Snyder, that was awesome. His costume. I get it. Some fans don't like that. I love it. It's awesome. I really like that style that he had, with that costume and what he was wearing as the Flash. And then of course what we see with the Flash in his standalone film. This is pretty sad. This is in 2023. What we got with that flop at the box office, with Zack Snyder and with James Gunn. And don't come at me right now telling me, oh, that's not James Gunn's work. James Gunn is overseeing these movies. Yes, I understand Andy Muschietti is the one that made the movie of The Flush, but it's still being approved by James Gunn. So his poor leadership allowed this movie to come out the way it is. And this is what we got in the final result. All right. Moving on. Check this out. So here we have an image of Henry Cavill as Superman, the real Superman, the real deal Superman. All right. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. Today, for some reason, I've been wanting to the past few days, and I started watching half of Avengers Age of Ultron. All right. I saw half last night and I finished the rest, this morning. Why did I do that? Just because I wanted to see and revisit that time. You get what I'm saying? Just because I wanted to see something different. All right. And seeing from what, during that time when we got that movie with, Joss, what's his name? Joss Whedon and stuff like that. For what Marvel was, they were in a better position than where they're at right now. And I'll tell you why I'm using this image. Because when you see Henry Cavill's costume, right? That beautiful suit right there. I mean, that speaks Superman in every volume. Excuse me. Why am I pulling up this image and talking about Avengers Age of Ultron? Very simple. Because the next image that you're looking at right now is what we see with Jarvis. I don't remember his real name on this character, but from what, he evolved. Reason why, if you look close at his costume, you can see the heavy inspiration of Henry Cavill's Superman costume. Remember, Marvel also was stealing ideas and styles, and you can see right here the way that his costume is similar a lot. You could tell that it's influenced by what Zack Snyder gave us with Man of Steel. Again, Zack Snyder is the blueprint. Say what you want, but that right there is the fact. Henry Cavill's suit, costume, whatever you want to call it, was ahead of its time. All right. And what James Gunn is giving us right now, it's completely trash. Let's be real. It's a cosplay costume. I've seen cosplayers do 10 times better than what we're getting for that movie that's coming on the way. All right. And again, I bring this image because, of course, I watched this movie and I was like, you know what? I see a lot of influence from Zack Snyder's costumes and especially Henry Cavill's Superman suit right here. And this right here, even with this, with Joss Whedon, he was still trying to copy, of course, Zack Snyder because, of course, Zack Snyder is the blueprint. But at the same time, they were willing to spend and go the extra mile to give us quality when it came to that, right? So let's accept it. And of course, James Gunn is not doing that because, of course, James Gunn is trying to go a cheaper route and trying to give us a cheaper version of Superman. All right, so let's move on. All right, check this out. This is very important right here, right? Bruce Timm. Who's Bruce Timm? He's an artist, he's a writer, he's a director, he's a producer. All right, he's worked on many projects and he's currently still at DC. Look at what he said, all right? Very interesting, all right? This is going to shut and throw cold water to you James Gunn fans. When Man of Steel came out, I remember some fans said, oh, I can't believe Superman K Zod. He would never do that. My first thought was, dang, I wanted to do that in the Doomsday movie. I was going to have Superman do exactly the same deed. See what I'm saying? So in the Superman, movie of Doomsday that he was going to be working on, he wanted to do the same thing what Zack Snyder did. So he was gonna do the same thing that Superman did to Zod when he that neck. Remember? Oh, the hypocrisy of some people, huh? And some fans. Oh, it's wrong when Zack Snyder does it, but it's okay if anybody else does it, right? That you see what I'm saying? For a while, I've been telling y'all the hypocrisy of the studio, some of these fake fans, and especially you're seeing how more and more on the daily basis and on the weekly basis, as we get closer to super flop, how they reveal themselves. All right. What Zack Snyder did with Man of Steel, with Henry Cavill, what he did with Superman when he was at WB with DC was ahead of the game. It was ahead of the time. And look at how long it's been now since Man of Steel. 11 years later, and we are still talking about it as if it happened 2 years ago. Amazing. Amazing. Like fine wine, it continues to age and it will continue to age amazing. That's what I'm telling you. Here you have Bruce Timm, an artist, a writer, a director, a producer. He's still at DC. And he said he was going to have Superman, his version, do exactly the same thing as Henry Cavill. Bravo. Bravo. That's what we need. We need more talent like this when it comes to this media and everything that has to do with these studios. All right. So that right there, another fact, right? Another win for us. All right, let's move on. Look at this. How funny. Every Superman and their greatest enemy. This right here is so true, is so accurate. Here you have from back then, again, to almost getting close to our times. As time continues, this is still our times. And of course, bringing it to today's timeline. The enemy of Henry Cavill is no other than James Gunn. Yep, that's the fact. You know it. You know that there's no lie when it comes to this right here. Check, 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 bingo. See what I'm saying? We already know what's up. This is why our theme this year is for 2025, wallets close. There's no exception. Woo! You think you're going to go ahead and do what you want to do? Nah. In the end, we're the consumer, we're the loyal fan base, we're the fans, and we are the customer. So we know what's up, we know what to support and what not to. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about this news right here that's coming out. All right. So Supergirl, all right, woman of tomorrow, I mean flop of tomorrow begins filming January 13. So this is probably like what within the next 2 weeks or so. This right here is the next project from James Gunn that he's going to be working on because he's right now desperate and trying to cram everybody into his one film of Superman, and we already know where that's heading. It's going straight down the drain. We already know. Supergirl will be no exception. It's also going to join the flop squad. Big if we even get there. Why do I say if? Because supposedly Supergirl is supposed to release sometime next year in 2026. We're finally in 2025. Let's not forget in early 2026 who's coming on board. Oh, that's right. Comcast is coming on board. And you think we're going to make it into 2026? And guess what else is happening in 2026? There's a rumor going around. Psst, if you haven't heard, you're about to hear it. And if you heard, you know exactly where I'm coming from. You know what that rumor is? Here, let me tell you. In 2026, apparently James Gunn's contract is going to expire and it's not going to get renewed. Oh, that's the fact right there. Because his apparently, I think 4 year, 5 year contract comes to a stop in 2026. So you think that with all these flops under the leadership of James Gunn, you think they're going to renew his contract again? Let's be real. Why? Why would you renew a contract with anybody, right? Let's say you hire somebody to do some work at your house, to do some work on your car, or whatever it is, and they do a bad job. And all they've been doing is just ripping you off, taking your money, and not giving you and providing you the services that they promised you. That's the same thing with James Gunn. Would you hire that same contractor, company, whatever it is, to come back and do more work, knowing what they're about? I'm pretty sure you're going to say no, right? Okay, so the same thing applies to this. Why would this studio rehire this individual, James Gunn, to come back with the massive flops that he's been having back to back, costing the studio money every time? Let's not forget, The Flush had a budget of 300 million. Superman has a budget of 300 million. I'm sure Supergirl is probably going to have another 300 minimum budget, for whatever they're trying to do. Probably for Lobo, the same thing. What's happening? It's adding up. 3, 6, 9, $12 million with 4 films. Remember what happened with The Flash? It tanked. So if it tanked at the box office, they didn't make back their money after they had everybody, including Gary, the parademon from Zack Snyder's Justice League, that it was going to be better than The Dark Knight. Remember that? You remember the marketing that they used? Oh, The Flash is going to be the best thing since The Dark Knight. And what happened? Oh, that's right. That movie tanked. It did terrible, right? So $300 million for a movie to tank? Hey, Andy Muschietti. Hey, James Gunn. Where did most of that budget go? Oh, that's right. It's probably in your bank account right now, right? Sitting, and you're just enjoying it, right? Because out of the 300 million plus, because I'm sure there was additional reshoots that they did. Because let's not forget, they had Ben Affleck that came back to do his reshoots. Henry Cavill, Gal, they were going to bring the Justice League back, right? But then again, James Gunn got in the way. So I'm sure he cut a check to George Clooney and said, hey, look, if you come into this movie, I'll probably slide you a check of probably minimum of like what, 30, 40 million out of that 300 million. Yeah. And what happened? It tanked. That movie didn't save The Flush, right? And I'm telling you, as a Zack Snyder fan, The Flush was not what we wanted. We're supposed to get a different version. Not that, but it is what it is. This is where we're at. Again, under the leadership of James Gunn, it's not going to work. It really isn't going to work. And Supergirl, it's not going to be an exception. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Supergirl, along with what else? Oh, because here we have Jason Momoa talking about he's reading the script for Lobo. All right. Now, if we look close, look at what it says: for Lobo's eyes only. All right. Now that he's jumped ship and he's gone over to James Gunn's DCU, look at what it says: Woman of Tomorrow, written by, who's this? Anna Noguera. I don't know how to pronounce that. All right. And it's going to be based on the comic by Tom King. And I can't even pronounce that, honestly, whoever that is. But yeah, again, look, what are they doing? Written by Anna. What does she work on currently? Oh, that's right, the Vampire Diaries. Did any of y'all see that? Yeah, because I know I didn't. Yeah, and last time I remember that was on some show like, what it was, like CBS or some TV station or something like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be getting. Again, James Gunn, along with David Zaslav, is trying to cut corners and trying to give us a cheaper quality type of movie. This is what they're doing. They're trying to keep most of the profits from the studio to save them cost, to save them whatever it is that they're trying not to spend on, to give us a cheaper version of whatever it is that they're trying to build, because we know this is not going to get far. Now, don't be surprised if, like I'm telling you, in 2026, once Comcast comes into play, and I have a big excuse me, I have a big theory. This is just me speculating. I have a feeling that Comcast will be the one that's going to acquire fully WB and all the rights to every DC property, because they have the money and they can afford it. And of course, they're doing already a business deal with WB starting next year. So we are literally a year away. Well, we're already 4 days into this year, so less than a year, right? That's going to come into play. A lot of changes are going to happen. A lot of things are going to shift. A lot of things are going to turn. And don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if you see that Lobo along with Supergirl after James Gunn's Superman flop, that both of these films get the Batgirl treatment and they both get completely a tax write off. It could happen. There's a big possibility that that could happen, my friends. I'm telling y'all, if they did it with Batgirl, what do you think? That they can't do it with Supergirl and Lobo? Of course they can. They could go ahead and start filming. They can go ahead and do everything that they need right now, just like they did with Batgirl. Remember, we had Brendan Fraser that he came back. He even posted pictures. Leslie Grace posted pictures. Everybody was excited. We saw pictures with Michael Keaton, the Batmobile. And, there was a rumor also going around that Ben Affleck's Batman was supposed to be in that movie, that he was going to be training Batgirl. And, the doors were going to open big time. And it makes sense because remember, once we saw in Black Adam, Superman appear. That's what I spoke about a few days, according to Cinehouse, that they said that WB wanted to reintroduce the Snyderverse. In other words, they wanted to restore the Snyderverse with Black Adam because remember, Henry Cavill came back and he did that cameo. So you have Amanda Waller, which was played by Viola Davis from David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Remember, she's a character from that universe, but it still all falls under the Snyderverse. All right. And if all that movie was supposed to connect with Batgirl, opening the doors to more, remember, Michael Keaton was supposed to come back. That's why they brought him for The Flash. He was supposed to open the doors because we had the multiverse to a Batman Beyond movie. He was supposed to get that. And then they canceled it. They canned it along with Batgirl and everything. Why? Because of what James Gunn said. Remember what he said? He didn't want to set up nothing that was going to give us false hope. Oh, okay. So you want to do us like that? That's all good. Don't worry. Wallet's closed. That's it. No excuses. You've done us dirty for too long. This studio has tolerated for too long. We, the fans, have had enough, and it's over. This year, everybody, wallets closed. Period. They're trying to create these fake numbers, paying for ads for Superman to keep on getting more views. It's obvious that the views are going to go up because they're paying for it. It's called click per view. That's what it's called. You can go ahead and run an ad right now, and for cents or dollars, you can go ahead and get over 1 million views just because you're paying for it. That doesn't mean that you're going to get all those people to come out and stuff like that. And they know it. The studio knows it. This is why they're trying to create all this fake excitement. Oh, Superman. I can't wait for Superman. Oh, Superman this is Superman that. They're paying other YouTubers, they're paying other reviewers and saying, here, go ahead and say good things about the movie. Right. Like that's really going to work. How did that work for The Flush? How did that work for Shazam 2? How did that work for Blue Beetle? How did that work for Aquaman 2? How did that work for all those movies that tanked at the box office? Look, somebody said something very important, and it's fresh in my head. Somebody said the following on one of my recent videos. All right, if you have the Suicide Squad from James Gunn that flopped during the pandemic, right? How come Birds of Prey, because the beginning of the pandemic started in early 2020, and Birds of Prey came out just when Sonic, the first movie, came out in 2020. How come Birds of Prey made more money than the Suicide Squad? Interesting, huh? I never saw that point of view, but that is true. How come during the pandemic, all right? How come Spider-Man No Way Home made over $1 billion? And who was in the middle of both of those? Between Birds of Prey and Spider-Man? The Suicide Squad from James Gunn. So since the beginning, fans have had enough. We knew that this whole reboot was going to be Marvelized. And that's exactly where we're at. It's marveled. You wanted your MCU in the DC? You got it. Now deal and cope with the flops and the big L's that are coming your way. Because all of these movies, in the end, might not even see daylight. They might get the Batgirl treatment just so they can do a tax write-off. And if we, us, the true consumer, the fans, and the loyal customers continue to keep our wallets closed, then we are speaking loud without having to say a word. Because the studio must be right now like all over the place. They must be like nobody's really buying this whole new Superman, this reboot. What are we gonna do? Well, go ahead, just pay for ads so people can be forced to watch it. Not gonna work because those same, keyboard warriors, if you want to say, keyboard fans, are not going to show up at the box office. They didn't show up for Shazam. They didn't show up for Blue Beetle. They didn't show up for The Flush. They barely showed up for Aquaman 2. So you think that's going to also help Superman? Oh, let's be real. Let's be real. It didn't work with James Gunn with the Suicide Squad. It's not working with James Gunn right now with his reboot and everything that he's putting out. And it's not going to work with Superman. You're going to learn, WB. You are going to learn. This year, you are going to know what it's like to have wallets closed. And at the rate that you're going, you know exactly where you're heading. Because look, whatever it is that you're trying to do is not working. This is yesterday. Yesterday, you've announced Batman and James Gunn's Creature Commandos. You've announced Peacemaker Season 2. You even put a little quick clip so people could get excited for it. You have your Superman coming up. You're announcing Lobo. You're announcing Supergirl. Who knows what else you're going to announce? Trying to rush everything, right? And if James Gunn is listening to this, or his team, or anybody at WB, pay close attention. These numbers, you can't lie. You can't lie with this chart. Look at where it's been for over 2 years. Over 2 years in the red, in the negative. And when it goes up, look at where it's at right now, 1057. And then when it does go up, it only goes up a few cents. Oh, that must be completely eating you from the inside out, right? The facts are facts. Accept it. You're announcing all this reboot. Nobody's interested. Nobody wants it. And the few fans are not enough to support it. You're not building on a foundation. You've divided the fandom so much within your own brand. You fully pissed off the Matt Reeves fans, the Snyder fans, and you're trying to please. Who are you trying to cater? Who? Who's the audience? Who's the targeted audience that you want? It's not working. It's not working. But you know what it was working? When Zack Snyder was there, when David Ayer was there, they were making over 800 million at the box office. How come James Gunn isn't doing the same? Those numbers don't reach up there because it's not working. WB, you need to accept it. Just put your pride to the side, listen to your fans, and you'll get those numbers back up. The only time we've seen these stock numbers go up in the high numbers was when that announcement not long ago, months ago, about Zack Snyder coming back to do that prequel or whatever it is that he's gonna be doing for 300 on HBO Max. That's it. That's the only time that it's gone up high. Again, why? Because Zack Snyder is a brand. He sells. His content moves every single time. Whether you like it or you don't, you have to accept it. When Zack puts out work, people are watching, regardless if they like his work or not, because they just need content so they can talk about it. But here, with James Gunn, this ain't Disney. You don't have Disney to back you up. And look at where you're at. You continue to sink. WB, you made the biggest mistake by bringing on James Gunn. You made the biggest mistake by selling to Discovery, because David Zaslav, instead of helping the company, all it's been doing is bringing the company down more and more. Say what you want. Say what you want. And you can see all these fake accounts that are constantly saying and posting comments that I have to go and filter my comments just because they want to come in here and vent. It doesn't make sense. If I don't like something, you don't see me going over there and venting and saying, hey, whatever. No. Why? I don't have time for that. But this is a Zack Snyder community. It's telling you I support only Zack Snyder when it comes to these movies. And you're coming here to vent and tell me what you feel? Yeah, okay. Have a good day. Peace. Right out. This is why it shows you people don't like the facts. They don't like the statistics. They don't like when you call out their lies. And that's what I'm here doing. Some of you are like, oh, well, you say you wasn't going to talk about DCU because blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. But I told you, I'm going to keep on exposing them. And this is what I'm doing. This right here is what I'm doing. Am I not? But then again, you can't talk with a James Gunn fan because there's no reasoning with them. Trying to talk with them is like completely trying to talk to a wall. You're not going anywhere because all they want to do is when you have a different opinion, and that's who James Gunn's fans are, the audience. Those people that you can't talk with, you can't reason. Those are the fans that want it their way and they don't want no other way because they feel that they're right. Even if they're wrong, they still feel that they're right. Again, they only reveal who they are and what they are and where they stand. The comments that I have to delete, some of you wouldn't even believe. It's disgusting. But that's who James Gunn is, and that's what he's catering to. That type of audience. See what I'm saying? They don't like when I come here and talk about this. This is why we, the fans, we will stop at nothing. I get a lot of people, right? Minority, not a lot. And they're always constantly, oh, you've been saying the same thing time after time. Yeah, you got to give time. That's what it is. The funny excuse of everybody is right now, trying to defend James Gunn and his Superman, is the following. Oh, well, the movie's not out yet. Hold on. Let me go back. Before the movie, you were like, well, the trailer's not even out yet. So why are you being so critical about it? You know, you're judging it without even seeing a trailer. Okay, I saw the trailer. And now what? Well, the movie's not out. You can't judge it because you haven't seen the movie. The James Gunn toxic fan base is full of excuses, and all they live is and feed on is excuses. It's sad. It's sad. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Hey, look, I'm wrong. All right, I gotta fix it. I got, like I made a mistake. Whatever. I'm I'm gonna tell you straight up. You get what I'm saying? But then when you have, these fans trying to defend, everything that's going on right now, they don't like it. They don't like it because again, the facts. These are the facts right here. You know, some of you are like, oh well, Jason Momoa jumped ship from the Snyderverse and now he's in James Gunn's DCU. Oh, you guys are turning your back on him. It's not that we're turning our backs on him. It's just he's revealing who he is and where he stands at finally. That's all. And I get it. He's an actor. He has to do what he has to do. But Ben Affleck is an actor. Henry Cavill's an actor. Gal Gadot's an actress. How come they didn't do that? See what I'm saying? Because they know what's up. They know what's up. Look at the actor that came back for the Flash. What's his name? I can't remember right now. The one that played Zod. He was like, whoa, hold on. Nah, this feels a little bit wrong. Let me first consult and talk and get permission from Zack Snyder. Why? Because he knew what's up. Zack was like, yeah, it's cool. Go for it. And then he came and it was like, all right, let's do it. But look at how that turned out. See what I'm saying? So it's like everything that Zack has created, WB and whatever executives at the time are always trying to completely erase everything that he's done. But joke's on them because as we continue to move forward in history, we made history. We got the Snyder cut. When everybody was against it, we got the Snyder cut. Every time I listen to the theme song of the Justice League from Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's just motivation. It's motivation. And it tells you, hey, we made that possible. The fans made that possible. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see that. But this is where we're at. Again, Supergirl isn't going to save, WB and where they're at right now and stuff like that. But what can you do? So drop your comments. I'm about to start checking them out and stuff like that. But it's just something that we had to talk about, honestly. It's just something, where we're at right now. It's completely interesting, but at the same time, it's just showing you, hey, like this is where we're at right now. Yeah, we're just heading down to everything of what this reboot is bringing. It's not doing anything. All it's doing is just completely ruining the brand, honestly. And as a customer, as a fan, I'm tired of it. Honestly, I'm tired of it. And this is where we're at. This is where we are right now. Slipknot, what up? What up to everybody? Everybody that is tuning in and checking it out and stuff like that. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'm just checking out comments right now and stuff like that. So, it's interesting. It's just completely interesting of where things are right now and stuff like that. So seeing that is just amazing. And seeing the fans, because you see so many fans everywhere, not just Snyder fans. You just see fans in general. I'd be seeing them in the comments besides YouTube. I'd be seeing them in, like on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and you could just read the comments. People are like, hey, look, like, I get it. Not everything from Zack Snyder was all that. And that's cool. They're entitled to their opinion. Everybody is. And they're like, but I'm just not feeling this whole reboot. They're like, I want to see Henry Cavill back. That tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. See what I'm saying? Like, it completely tells you like what people want. And, just seeing that, it's just amazing. Honestly, it really is amazing to see when you have people still supporting it and still fighting for it, and still asking for it. And it's been over 10 years already. And the Snyderverse lives. That's it. It's still alive. It's not right now currently, active, if you want to say, with the DC brand and stuff like that. But the Snyderverse lives. We have Rebel Moon and we have all these other IPs that Zach is doing over at Netflix. Regardless what he puts out, it's still part of the Snyderverse. It doesn't have to connect literally to, Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it's just a figure of speech, like saying the Snyderverse lives because he's still doing work. He's still putting work out there. See what I'm saying? And where's Joss Whedon today? He hasn't done anything. His career is over pretty much. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's what I'm trying to say. And look at where Zach is at. Still making movies, still making projects. So that it shows you, it just shows you of where the quality is and what people want and all that good stuff. So that's why we have to do these lives. This is why I come on live and talk and we do what we do, talk about it and just hang out and all that stuff. So it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild, honestly. Um, all right, let me see. I'm just checking out. Yeah, I agree with you. All the Snyder DCU fan channels need to come together. One big platform, YouTube. Yeah, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I've reached out to several of them. A lot of them don't respond back. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? So I'm doing what I can, but if some people don't want to, some people don't want to. It is what it is. But again, like some people want to network, some people don't. It's all good. You know, it is what it is. As long as we're still talking about it, that's what's important, and you know where we're at and stuff like that. So we were eating good back then, but now, yeah, that's true. That's true. Honestly, it's like completely a downgrade. Massive downgrade and stuff like that. All right. Wow, man, streaming again. I'm almost baffled that I didn't find this channel sooner. Thought I knew all the best Snyder related channels. I appreciate that. I've been here probably over a year talking about all this stuff, still underground. It's now when I'm really getting more active within the past year and stuff like this. I created this account years ago, but I was never really like, into it and stuff like that. But here we are, growing by the day. And I appreciate everybody, honestly. That's why I'm here still talking about it. This is a hot topic that we constantly talk about, but it's thanks to everybody. People are watching, so I'm gonna keep on talking about it. So I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. Let me see what else. What else? What else? All right, am I the only one who feels like David doesn't feel like Superman? Like Henry embodies Superman and he loved it. Yeah, exactly. David doesn't feel nothing against David Corn Sweat. It's just he doesn't really capture that Superman, you know, vibe. If you want to say, I'm gonna be real with you. Like I've told y'all, if you followed me, you already know what's up. For the ones that know, you already know what I'm about to say. I was never a Superman fan. Never. I was never into Superman just because he has too much powers. He's just way too powerful. I was just like, he's too exaggerating. When Zack Snyder gave us Man of Steel in 2013, I changed my perspective. I changed my point of view. And I started liking that character. if you see my collection, right? One day I'm gonna give you all the tour and stuff like that. I'm just rearranging things, so probably I'll give you all the tour soon. If you see all the Superman, whatever that I have, it's only Henry Cavill. I don't have no other Superman in none of my collection. And I'm talking about, from both what we got with Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League. But that's all you're gonna see when it comes to Superman in my collection, his version of Superman, because that's how wow and just awesome what Zack Snyder did with it. It's like wow, like why doesn't WB continue with that? It's like, hey WB, are you scared of making money, but then you want to make Marvel money? Like, make it make sense. Like, you want to make success or you don't want to be successful. Which one of the two? You can't have one or the other. See what I'm saying? And now it's proven, and with Superman is going to prove to you that the Marvel formula is not meant to be here at DC. I like both brands. I like Marvel and I like DC, but I prefer DC more because their characters are just something about it that I like them more. They're a little bit more realistic. I like Marvel, don't get me wrong, but not every character. It's like, all right, this one's cool. I like this one, that one, whatever. But when it comes to DC, it's like I'm there more. You get what I'm saying? And what Zach did with the cinematic universe, it just took that quality of filmmaking to the next level and beyond. And nothing has been able to touch that, honestly. And let's be real. What after Zack Snyder at DC has topped or surpassed what he did? Nothing. Nothing. Not even with David Ayer. Two different directors, two different visions, but they still utilized Ben Affleck from the same universe. There's no Michael Keaton. This is why it irritates me as a fan of what WB did with The Flash. There was no need to bring in Michael Keaton just because of the multiverse. I mean, we don't really need that. Focus on Ben Affleck, and I guarantee you that movie would have been different. But they just focused on Michael Keaton, like if Michael Keaton was always the Batman of this universe. Yo, it doesn't work like that, WB. It doesn't. And you brought this upon yourself. We're in this mess because you did this. The studio has allowed this. And time after time, the studio tries to wipe their hands and like, oh, we're not responsible. And then they throw directors under the bus and then they throw staff. And, it's like, yo, stop playing this blame game. Just accept it. You screwed up. You screwed up with the fans. Just come out and apologize. That's it. Just apologize and be like, yo, we messed up, but we want to fix it. That's it. That's all you need to do. But they don't do it. What's so hard for the executives to come out publicly and acknowledge Ray Fisher and just be like, yo, you know what, Ray Fisher? Our bad. That's it. We screwed up, but we want to make up for it. That's it. Less than 5 seconds and you'll be good. But no, they continue to be in their ego, just like James Gunn. This is why all these fans that James Gunn's catering to are just like him, full of ego. They're evil. They're just they're just disgusting. They really are. You can't talk with them because all they want to do is offend you, insult you, and try to be right even when they're wrong. And you're showing them the facts and the evidence and they don't like it. That's what triggers them because they know they're wrong, but you just can't prove them wrong. They don't like that. See what I'm saying? So it is what it is. All right, let me see. Yeah, this is another hashtag that I'm starting to see. No Snyderverse, no money. That's true. It all falls under while it's closed, And at this point, honestly, look, like I've been saying, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna emphasize it. We don't need no more new hashtags. Honestly, I'm not against them, but you're only gonna see me using just those two hashtags of restore the Snyderverse and release the Ayer cut. That's it. That's the only two that you're going to see me. But I've seen that one starting to pop up everywhere. No Snyderverse, no money. Again, while it's closed, that's it. Just while it's closed. And it's just the way that things are going on right now. Things are going to change. They're going to change. Yes, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is inevitable. It's going to happen for sure. For sure, Integrity 101. It's going to happen. And the studio knows it. James Gunn knows it. David Zaslav knows it. And I'm pretty sure Comcast also knows it. This is why probably they're waiting for this year to go by quick because they probably are going to bring different plans and a different game to us, the fans, and that's it. It's enough, enough is enough. They need to bring back quality. They need to bring back all this good content like they were because they were actually succeeding when they had Zack Snyder. All they need to do is let Zack Snyder do his thing. Supergirl flop of tomorrow equals wallets close. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. And they know it, you know? Yep, exactly, Bradley. Supergirl is going to be a tax write off for sure. Don't be surprised if that's what's going to happen and stuff like that. It's funny how we're getting Supergirl movie before Batman and Wonder Woman. Yep. Of course, because James Gunn is just desperate, you know, and the studio must be like, hey, you better impress us. You better make those numbers at the box office like you promised us. You made those monies with Guardians of the Galaxy with Disney. We want some of that money too. But guess what? It's not going to happen. WB thought that with Joss Whedon, it was going to work. And look at where that led them to. That's why it cracks me up when people are like, oh, Zack Snyder's Justice League costed too much. They didn't make profit, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you can't blame Zack for that because what went on and stuff, you know, we already know. And what happened? The studio could have said, hey, look, we're going to pause. And when Zack is okay and he's good to come back, we'll continue. But no, WB said, no, we're just going to move forward and we're going to bring in Joss Whedon because he did The Avengers and he did The Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. And where did that lead them to? Into the mess that they are right now. And then 5 years we had to put up and we fought day and night, day after day, mockery, laughter, emojis, insults, disrespect, even threats. And what happened? We finally got the Snyder Cut after everybody was against it. Oh, you'll never get your Snyder Cut. Oh, that's a unicorn. It's never going to happen. Oh, give up, move on, blah, 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 blah. Same thing is happening right now. They know it. James Gunn and all of these anti-Snyder fans know that Zack Snyder is going to make a comeback. The Snyderverse is going to make a return. We're going to get the air cut, and there's no stopping it. When you know you can't stop something, what happens? People tend to get salty. That's what happens. When you're at a game and you don't win, what happens? You get salty because it's human nature. But with James Gunn and his fans, they can't accept it. That's it. Time after time, we've already proven to them. And with Superman, we will also prove them the big L when they receive it at the box office. Because you better believe it, those ticket sales are not going to move. Say what you want. Go ahead and keep on paying for your ads. But day of release, that same traffic you quote unquote had online, you better deliver plus more day of release at the box office. But we already know where it's going to be. We already know. You know, that's what happens. It is what it is. All right, I'm just checking out comments and stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that have sold out. I've been seeing what do you call it? Like other channels and stuff, and it's wild. You know, like a lot of them I used to watch before I even started my channel, and they were constantly talking about the Snyder Cut. You know, and they fought until we finally got it, and then after that, like everything cooled down, and it's like they just got comfortable, and they were like, "That's it, we're done." And I'm like, "What? We just we're just barely getting started. Like we got the Snyder Cut. How are we stopping?" And look at where they're at now. You know, they changed and now they're on James Gunn's side, if you want to say. And then they talk down on us. And I'm like, you grew your channel because of us. You get what I'm saying? There's so many channels out there that they've completely turned their back. You know, me on the contrary, nah, I'm still here. You know, I ain't going nowhere. And they know it. All right, so here's this one. Thoughts on The Rock trying to restore the Snyderverse with Black Adam and Superman, Henry. He has the money and Gunn screwed him with the reboot. Yeah, that's true. All right. Interesting that you bring that up because, like I said, we were on the path to success with Black Adam because that's when WB wanted to reintroduce. That's why they brought back Henry Cavill to do that cameo. All right. Because it was supposed to set up bigger things and better things. Because, of course, while that's going on, they were still working on the Flash, and you know they were all. That's when they brought Ben Affleck to do the scenes and all the stuff that they did and stuff. They had a Gal Gadot and stuff. I remember when the test screenings, people were saying, "Yeah, the Justice League comes out and stuff like that." And some people were like, no, not at the one that I saw. But then at the end, we could see the final product. We do see that Gal's there. And look at how they did Henry. They only show him like a quick cameo flying around the TV in the background and stuff. So the plans were to bring the Justice League into the Flash because it was going to set up something big. Now, with The Rock, look, I'm going to be real with you. Some of y'all might get offended, but it is what it is. I like what The Rock did with Black Adam, minus the jokes. That's not his fault. You know, that's the writers and stuff like that. So he probably had to a certain point that he can say, yeah, it's good. No, that's good. That's not, whatever. Because you always have these executives that they pressure and they're like, you have to put that joke. If not, I'm not going to give you the money that you need, because that's how these producers feel. They feel that they can give you a certain amount of money and they own you, you see, because they're a producer, that they have that right. So probably those cheesy jokes that were unneeded was because of some producer that just felt that they needed to put it. They were probably Peter Safran was one of them. Oh, we got to put jokes in it because we got to be like Marvel. No, man, just let it be and let The Rock do what he has to do. Get into what The Rock did. I appreciate that because one, originally that movie, I think it was supposed to be rated R. And for a PG-13, it's strong. It's not a light-hearted PG-13. Nah, this dude is getting missiles and throwing them. People are not getting hurt with that. These people are being pulverized, period. And what happens? We get with Henry Cavill what we got in Man of Steel. I mean, not Man of Steel, the cameo that he came out at the end and stuff like that. So it was setting things up where later down the road, he was going to face off The Rock, you know, Black Adam. And even in that interview, I remember that The Rock even said it. There's an interview right now. I think I reshared it on Twitter. If you're on it, go check it out. I just reshared it a few days ago that somebody posted. The Rock was saying that they were listening to fans. He even says it. He's like, we're listening to fans. You know, don't think that we're not. And there's so much that they can do, meaning the actors and, you know, the cast and stuff like that. But if you have executives, the people high above, that they don't want it, they just don't want it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't fight that because they're the ones that approve and don't approve and stuff like that. But it just shows you and it proves to you, hey, you know, like, I appreciate what he did because he tried doing as much as he could. Look, I have the clip right here. I'm going to play it for y'all, you know, just so you could hear the audio while we're on it. Look.
Is new leadership about to happen in Warner Brothers. Here's an opportunity. We on our end of Black Adam, we will do everything we can to pay homage and respect to the mythology of Black Adam and build him as being the most powerful and unstoppable force on this planet. And if we do our job right at the end of the movie, then in comes not only the most powerful and unstoppable force in the entire universe in Superman, but also the one that the fans want. And that's the difference. And that's the new era I'm talking about. This new era in the DC universe is we listen, man. We listen to the fans. We may not be able to do every single thing that they want, but they're going to know that they're not ignored because they've been ignored for so long, but we're going to listen to them, man. So in presenting that to Henry, you know, he also, man, when it comes to Superman, I don't know if there's any other person on the planet who loves and embodies the mythology, the ethos, and everything of Superman than Henry. And so I'm so happy that it all came together. I'm so happy the fans are losing their minds over it. And I'm so happy that there is a new shift in this DC universe. And
so you see, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I was telling you about. The facts are out there. They're listening to us. This is why I keep on telling y'all, keep on using the hashtag of Restore the Snyderverse. It sends the message. We want everything in that bubble to come under and be together. Because along with Restore the Snyderverse, we have every other hashtag that comes with it. We don't need 1,000 hashtags to express our point of view. I don't need to go and put 1,000 hashtags just to say in the end, yo, Restore the Snyderverse. No. All I'm putting is Restore Snyderverse. Everything falls into that umbrella. That whole bubble is filled with it, including Black Adam. This is why I say I appreciate what The Rock did with Black Adam. The tone was dark. The style was, you know, like it was brute. It just felt like part of the Snyderverse. And you can see it. He did everything that he could. when, you know, when and with everything that he had, at his reach. It's just sometimes the executives, you just, I mean, you just gotta sometimes like go through them and stuff like it's just it's politics, if you want to say. But in the end, he did what he could. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. But of course, while that was going on, we already knew that James Gunn was already in WB. And then, of course, David Zaslav and whatever he did and stuff like that. So, it is what it is, But again, we have to come together. We have to make it happen. And we will make it happen. We will. In the end, it's us, the fans, that speak with our wallets. That's it. Because nobody's going to force you to go watch Superman. Nobody. Nobody's going to force you to go watch Creature Commandos. Nobody. In the end, you, the one that's listening, wherever you are, around the world right now, you're listening. In the end, nobody's going to force you to do anything. I can't force you to be like, hey, restore the Snyderverse. I can't force you, hey, go watch Superman from James Gunn. No, because in the end, only you know what you want to support and what you want to back up, because it's your money. You give your money to whoever you want and however you want. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is, like I said. So, I mean, what can we do? I'm just thankful for what we got. And again, the main ingredient that's missing for all of this to really happen the way that it's supposed to happen is Zack Snyder and David Ayer. We need Zack Snyder to be leading the cinematic universe, just that division, not animated, not the gaming, just the cinematic department. Let him do his thing. Let him appoint the people that he wants. Of course, you have David Ayer there because he did Suicide Squad and is still connected. Patty Jenkins. That's why the first Wonder Woman was a success compared to the second one, because with Zack Snyder and without Zack Snyder. See the difference? Same thing with the first Aquaman. With Zack Snyder, without Zack Snyder. Big difference. And of course, we need, Ben Affleck's Batman movie, Man of Steel 2. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's like there's so much that could be done. There's just so much. But the thing is, again, sometimes just the studio themselves, like they make it difficult. Things could be done, but when you have like over 10 people trying to decide what should be and what shouldn't be, it's difficult. I'm sure if wherever you guys work at, or if you're self-employed, you have meetings and you hear these meetings, how many people give their feedback? It sounds bonkers. You're like, oh, this is too much. Like everybody's giving their opinion. But in the end, they're gonna want to go with what they want to go. Or if you're self-employed, you're gonna be like, let me consult one person, even if you have like a business partner or whatever. And then sometimes even that's hard because you feel that your point of view is better, your vision is better, but then the other one makes a little sense, and then they feel like it. See what I'm saying? So it's like head clashing. It happens. And that's the same thing with the studios. You have these studios, and that's why they're head clashing, and in the end, like I said, look, a perfect studio right now to take notes from is Paramount. They're crushing it with Sonic 3. They are crushing it. You have a trilogy, 3 movies that are connected, same cast, same voice actors, everything, and you're introducing new characters, and you're opening the doors to a bigger world within your universe. Yeah, they're just crushing it. They're completely crushing it at the box office. We know Disney's playing dirty because we know Disney did it to WB with the DCEU, and they're doing it now to Sonic because they know that Sonic is bringing in fans. It's not pleasing and it's not trying to cater no type of message. It's catering to fans, the ones that support your brand. See what I'm saying? So that's what it comes down to, and for sure, Zack Snyder is the blueprint. Say what you want about Zack. That's your opinion. But you have to even see when you have other shows and you have other movies and they even come out and say it. Yeah, like I was inspired by Zack Snyder. Hell, even me as an indie creator, I'm still working on my comic, like I told y'all. I'll be updating all of y'all with that soon because I've been like kind of like putting that on the pause for now, but I'm gonna get back on it. Even I'm taking elements and ideas and styles from what Zack Snyder has done. Because to me, I'm like, yo, like I look up to him when it comes to creating content. And that's what I want to also do but my style. Get what I'm saying? Same way that James Wan did with Aquaman. He consulted Zack, hey, what do you think? You know, these storyboards, what if this and what if that? Probably Zack was like, yeah, it's cool. Let's add this, do that, like, and then look at the product that we got in the end. The same thing with the first Wonder Woman. Hey Zack, what do you think? All right, cool. It's your project, but I'll give you some ideas and stuff. A big difference. It's proven by now. WB needs Zack Snyder in their cinematic universe. No and ifs or buts. They need them. And if anybody from Comcast is listening, WB is listening, take notes. You already know. Your fans have been asking you. And you'll never know until you don't take that risk. Bring Zack back. Announce, just put a quick hashtag of restored and watch how everything goes up to you. Everything, your stocks are going to soar. Everything is going to go up. Fans are going to be talking both sides, everything, because that's what the audience wants. People want good quality. And it's time for good quality to make a comeback. All right. So I'm about to let y'all go. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for watching all that good stuff. Every time that I come online and, we talk, we chat, I enjoy it. I always appreciate each and every one of you. Even if we don't agree, hey, I still appreciate you for tuning in and watching and listening and stuff. You don't have to, but it means a lot to me, when you guys tune in and just listen and put your comments. I see your comments. They keep going, but it's just too many sometimes to keep up with and stuff like that. Even the same thing, trying to filter the system and, just trying to read comments, it just could get a little too overwhelming and stuff like that. But here we are. We will stop at nothing. We're going to keep on doing what we're doing. You know that I'm here, and, I appreciate the support from everybody from all over, and just seeing that, like I said, it's incredible. It's amazing, being able to interact with everybody and talk and, all that good stuff, because in the end, that's that's what matters. We're here together, united. We will get through this. And you will see very soon that we're all going to be celebrating and talking about how the Snyderverse has made a strong comeback. And we're going to be saying, instead of restore the Snyderverse, we're just going to be probably using some hashtag of restored, because it's going to happen. It shall happen, and it will happen. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to see if I come on tomorrow. If not, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all stay safe. I appreciate y'all again, and catch you on the next video. Remember, turn those notifications on, because I've noticed that some of the notifications with the videos are not really working and stuff. So you got to stay on top of it. All right. So I'm optimistic. Look, man, I'll be honest with you. I like to see what's ahead, trying to stay positive while everything else that's negative surrounding us, we don't need that. We just need positivity, motivation. We need, that good vibe, if you want to say, and I'm here to give it. That's how we gotta do it, Together, we're gonna make all this possible, and there's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. So, we will do what we have to do, and yeah. So, all right. So I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all have a good evening, good morning, wherever you are around the world, and until next time, peace.